We are in the second video and we're starting the metric to US conversions on this one, or US to metric. We can go either direction with that. And so on this first one we have 4.20 feet. You don't necessarily have to put the 0 there. We're going to convert to centimeters. There is a conversion factor for that on your conversion charts. That's 30.48 in 1 foot. You can see here that the feet are going to be eliminated, canceled out. We get 128.016, and we are going to round that to 128 centimeters. So the only number we were given was the 4.20 feet, and I'm rounding to the same number of significant digits as that number. On this next one, convert 20 feet 6 inches to meters. Well, 20 feet 6 inches is going to be 20.5 because 6 divided by 12 is 0.5. So that's how we convert inches to feet. And we're going to use 20.5 feet. And then we're going to convert that to meters. So feet have to go on the diagonal. That's the unit I'm canceling, and meters then on the other spot, right? There's just 2 places to put those. In 1 meter, there are 3.281 feet. Now, as we go, you should be pausing this and practicing with your conversion chart. Make sure you can find your conversions because there are 3 different parts. There's the top part on the conversion chart that's all the US units, and then there are the units on the bottom left are just metric, and bottom right are US to metric. I had to pause for a minute. Something went weird with my screen. I don't really even know why, but that happened. So we're going to cancel out our feet, divide 20.5 by 3.281. Remember, I talked about this, that a yard's a little bit more than a meter, and so 3.281, that would be the number of feet in a meter because it's a little bit bigger than a yard. And then we get 6.248, and we will round that to 6.2 meters. All right. Let's go back to that. It would be okay to round that to 6.25 if you wanted to do that. That would kind of coincide with this, but since we didn't really start out with a decimal number in the first place, then it's okay to do that, to the 6.2. All right, here's our next one. So on this, we're going to convert cubic inches to cubic centimeters. And so once again, practice finding this on your chart so that you know where it's located whenever you're looking at that, because it's important that you can find everything that you need. On this one, we have 512 cubic inches. Now I could do inches cubed there. I'm going to write that over 1. Okay, my thing's doing weird stuff again. I'm going to try this again. 512. I'm just going to do inches cubed over 1. We are converting to cubic centimeters. On your chart, you will be able to find that in 1 cubic inch, there are 16.387 cubic centimeters. Now, I like to try to think about how this looks. A cubic inch would be like a little cube that is an inch high, an inch wide, an inch deep, right? So you have these 3 measurements of a cubic inch. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So basically you're taking 2.54 times 2.54 times 2.54 to get the cubic measurement on this. And that's why it seems like, well, that's quite a bit, but that does make sense if you look at it that way. We're going to multiply 512 times 16.387, 8390.144. If we round this to 3 significant digits, it would be 8390. Remember that 0 is not significant because it's on a whole number. Next, convert 46.2 square centimeters to square inches. 46.2 centimeters squared to square inches. So we are going to have centimeters squared here and inches squared there. So once again, there's 2.54 centimeters in an inch. We would take that, right, 2.54 times 2.54, and then we get in 1 inch there are 6.452 square centimeters. We eliminate or cancel out our unit of centimeters squared. We are dividing and we end up with 7.160. If we round that to 3 significant digits, 7.16, and that would be inches squared. All right. The normal cruising speed of the Airbus A380 is 250 meters per second. What is the speed in miles per hour? So we're converting from meters to miles and seconds to hours. This is just the name of this airplane. We start out with 250 meters in 1 second. That's pretty fast, I would say. And then we're going to set that up as, we have to do a few conversions on this, not too many. Seconds, I'm going to do the seconds to hours. And then we also have to go meters to miles. You just want to get mixed up with meters and miles, you know, when you're writing that out. We have 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. And on the miles, 1 mile is 1,609 meters. So you see then that my meters are canceled, my seconds are canceled, and I have miles per hour left. So we multiply across, and we get 900,000 divided by 1,609, which is 559.35. And if we round that in accordance to this number, right, it was to 2 significant digits, it would be 560 miles per hour. On the next one about painting, a gallon of exterior enamel sells for $38.29. At this rate, what would 1 liter cost? Now, a gallon has 4 quarts. A liter is close to the size of a quart. It's a little bit more, and so that means that our amount should be quite a bit lower, right, than the $38.29. All right, so we are going to set this up with $38.29 for 1 gallon, and then we're going to convert gallons to liters. So I have a gallon to liter. Oh, let me use my other color. So 1 gallon is 3.785 liters. Remember, 4 quarts is 1 gallon. So it's going to be a little bit less when it's liters. That's 10.116. And that will round to $10.12. And that's per liter. Okay. So this is direct measurements. We're done with the converting part of this lesson, and then this last section 5.5 is about direct measurement. And on this, we're basically going to read a ruler. Notice on the top of this ruler, it's in eighths, and on the bottom, it's listed in sixteenths. So we basically just go through and do some counting, right? Because that's partly what we're going to be doing on this, right? We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 6/8, which would be 3/4 of an inch. We're going to simplify our fractions if needed, and this is in inches, so we should label our answers with inches. The next one, we're past the 2, and that's 1, 2, 3, so we're at 2 3/8 inches, and that one doesn't need simplified. On the 3, right, we're one mark past the 3. Since it's in eighths, that's going to be 3 1/8 inch. Then we're at, on the D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at 3 5/8 inches. On the bottom, we're in sixteenths. And so you may not want to count, you can kind of count by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We're at 13. So this one is 13/16 of an inch. On the next one, I'm at 1, and this is 1/2 right here. So that would be 8/16. This is 9/16. Of course, you can just count them if you want to. So that is 1 9/16 of an inch. On the next one, I'm just at 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's pretty. 2 4/16, which is 2 1/4. And I think you can see that because that's 1/4, that's 1/2, and so on. So you can kind of use those other marks to help you with this too. If you just read that as 2 1/4 from the beginning, that would be okay. I'm at the very last mark before the 3, so that is 2 15/16. You can kind of go backward from that too. All right. So that's all of reading the ruler. And remember, it really is just about the marks in between. And this tells us, which is nice, you could count them and find out on your own. So here I just did a picture of a tape measure that I found, because I know that using a tape measure is something that a lot of different trades are going to do. On this one, we're starting from 0 to 1, right? So we're at this mark, which happens to be, this is in sixteenths, by the way, on both sides of the tape measure. Right here, we are at 3/4, because this longer mark tells me that we're at 3/4. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I missed one because I can't see it in there. Because we should be at 12. Yeah, it's underneath the thing there. So it is 12/16, which is 3/4 of an inch. That kind of covers it up a little bit. And on the next one, we are at, this is 1/2, right? Right here, that's 1/2, which would be 8/16, 9, 10, 11. So we are at 2 11/16 of an inch. And then on the 4, we're 2 marks past 4, and that's 2/16 or 1/8. We're at the very last mark before the 5, so 4 15/16 of an inch. All right, so I'm going to end the video here, and then we'll do the rest of the measurements after the video.